He was a soldier, a diplomat, and a man who broke barriers. To many, Colin Powell exemplified the American dream. Growing up in Harlem, the son of Jamaican immigrants, he went on to advise 4 different presidents. Powell joined the Army and served his country during 2 tours of Vietnam, becoming a general. Ronald Reagan tapped him as National Security Advisor in the final days of the Cold War. President George H.W. Bush made him chairman of the Joint Chiefs, the first black person to hold the post. He oversaw the Persian Gulf War in 1991. His strategy of overwhelming force became known as the Powell Doctrine.
Our strategy to go after this army is very, very simple. First, we're going to cut it off, and then we're going to kill it.
His presence and earnest demeanor made him one of the most popular and trusted names in America.
By the time he retired from the military, he was arguably the most respected and celebrated American in uniform.
Republicans and Democrats tried to convince him to run for president. His wife, Alma, talked him out of it.
Colin Powell as Secretary of State.
It was under President George W. Bush that Powell was appointed Secretary of State, another first for an African American. Despite his reservations about invading Iraq, he relented.
Saddam Hussein and his regime are concealing their efforts to produce more weapons of mass destruction.
That speech to the United Nations arguably won the battle for public opinion and would become one of his greatest regrets. As Iraq turned into a quagmire, Powell admitted to relying on faulty intelligence, acknowledging the painful stain on his record. In his later years, Powell positioned himself as a moderate, endorsing Barack Obama and serving as an informal advisor. In 2020, he endorsed a Democrat again.
Joe Biden will be a president we will all be proud to salute.
Are you optimistic?
Always optimistic.
Powell's career paved the way for a generation of future leaders, including the current U.S. Secretary of Defense.
The world lost one of the greatest leaders that we have ever witnessed.
In his later years, as American politics grew more divided, Powell kept a noticeably lower profile, avoiding the spotlight and the sting of his Iraq blunder. Asked how he might like to be remembered, he once told an interviewer, "All I want to do is judge myself as a successful soldier who served his best." Colin Powell was 84. Jackson Proskow, Global News, Washington.